So you want to be a farmer. Well, I guess that's where I'm going to start this topic. In one of my previous videos, I talked about the fact that I had finally made peace with Arena. And one of the ways that I did that was, hello, good games, great spreadsheet. It's not necessary to win every single game to move ahead in Magic and improve your collection. And I posted that link, and I did that earlier in one of the shows, but I'll do it again in this one. But moving forward here, I've got to maybe help some people find the way to do that. Up to this point in life, often I've always made the assumption that if I know how to do something, well, duh, everybody knows how to do it, and it's not necessarily worth sharing. But it occurs to me that that's not always true. So maybe I should help you find how to make those decks and find those decks that are going to help you farm gold. One of the fundamental questions that I had to answer, though, is what do you want and expect when you play Magic?
I want a deck that wins 100% of the time, that requires zero thought and works every single time.
You need to calm down, dude. That's not realistic. But let's maybe look at it as though it were. Winning 100% of the time just isn't going to happen. But what's an acceptable win rate? How about if you knew you were going to sit down and maybe win 2 out of 3 games? Or maybe 3 out of 4. That's a reasonable and doable scenario. About the game being consistent, a variance just doesn't allow that. But if you take the time to play a deck that is synergistic enough, you're going to find that consistency will improve. But the biggest and most important thing is playing the deck correctly. So it doesn't do any good to come up with a deck that you're not sure about. So one of the ways that you can find a deck easily is by using Aether Hub. So to do that, what we're going to do is take a look at it and see what's involved. We're going to go to our Deck Assistant, and we're going to click right here on this A. When this comes up, if you've synced your deck list and arena with Aether Hub, you're going to find that you can go into Collection. Clicking on Collection, you now see which cards you have, how much gold you have, how many gems, and how far you are along on your new cards, getting that vault, getting those extra free wild cards. Aside from that, though, if you look over here, there's Deck Advisor. Simply clicking on Deck Advisor, it shows you again the wild cards you have available. And quite honestly, I just burned a few of them the other night because I made a deck to farm with. But I looked for a couple of things. We look for that 60% win rate. Now, just because somebody else got a 60% win rate on it doesn't mean you're going to get it also. But you're starting out giving yourself the best possible chance. And what I think is most important is this Deck Advisor looks at the cards you already have. How many times have you found a deck or watched somebody else's channel and said, oh, I got to make that, burn the wild cards on it, and then lose? Not good. Looking at this, you can see which decks have the cards that you have and what the win rates are. So why not choose a deck that has about a 60% win rate or higher and start with that. Give yourself the best possible chance for success. Now, I did that the other day, and what I wound up with was a cycling deck. But it's not quite as simple as a win every single time, because looking for the cycling deck. It turns out that it was a standard deck. And it's a 4-color standard deck, but is it really? No, it's not. So, foolishly, I jumped right in and started playing it. Notice that there are blue and black cards here. Let's get this over here so we can see it just a little better and get it up here. See those blue and black cards in there? They're in there for no other reason than the fact that they cycle for 1. There are no islands. There are no swamps. So you're never going to cast these cards. First time I played it, I didn't realize that. I mean, I quickly figured it out. Luckily, I wasn't actually in a ranked match. So these cards, again, says it's a 4-color deck, not actually a 4-color deck. So when you get that deck, play a few games with it. Make sure that you know how it works so that you give yourself every possible chance to be able to win. And again, you're going to play in events, standard or ranked, and you're going to farm for gold. You're not worried about winning every single time, but again, 60% win rate will start moving you ahead so that both your collection grows and your gold grows. And now here's my not so subtle segue. To help us grow, be sure to click the like button, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe, and thanks for taking the time to watch.